Oh, you're gonna love this one. Get comfy, let your thoughts wander. And when you're ready, baby, dream of a new life.
The Enchanted Wager. Power Girls Awakening by Catherine Serafina. Chapter 11, October 24th to the 27th, 2025. Friday after school, the three of us spilled into Spirit Halloween like we were storming a carnival. The place buzzed with shrieking animatronics, flashing strobes, and racks of polyester costumes that smelled faintly of plastic and excitement. A kid in a zombie mask lurched past us, growling at his giggling little sister. Becca went straight for the cape section like it was calling her name. She held up a short red one with a flourish, grinning. "See, I get to wear a cape too," she said, draping it across her shoulders. Her eyes slid toward Haylie with a wicked smile. "Unlike some people who'll just have to parade their cute little butts around uncovered." Haylie gasped in mock offense, then turned sideways and gave an exaggerated over-the-shoulder pose. "Oh no, tragic. Guess everyone's going to have to stare." She smacked her own hip for emphasis, nearly knocking over a rack of fake chainsaws. "God, you're impossible," I groaned, face hot, which only made them laugh harder. Becca was already rifling through hangers again, muttering about hem lengths and cape weights like she was tailoring royalty. Haylie, never one to stay quiet, picked up a plastic trident from the next aisle and wielded it like a runway prop. "What do you think, Poison Ivy, ruler of the seas?" Becca snorted. "Wrong villain, genius?" The aisles pulsed with noise kids shrieking when motion sensor skeletons cackled, teens daring each other to try on masks, parents corralling carts piled high with last-minute props. Becca and Haylie vanished deeper into the chaos, juggling armfuls of costume bits, their voices rising and falling in cheerful debate. I drifted down another aisle, letting the store swallow me up. Plastic skeletons rattled whenever someone brushed past them, rubber bats dangled from fishing line, and an animatronic zombie groaned on repeat. It should have been cheesy. Maybe it was, but for the first time, I wasn't shrinking into a hoodie or hiding behind a cap. I just walked. At the end of the aisle, a small figure spun into view. Clara. She was a one-girl circus, tugging oversized props off the racks with both hands. A witch hat swallowed her whole head, the brim slipping down so far she had to shove it up with a huff and a scrunch-nosed glare. She added a bright purple feather boa, wrapping it twice around her neck until the ends trailed behind her like wings. She struck a pose, wobbling in plastic princess heels 3 sizes too big. "Behold!" she declared to nobody, arms spread wide. The hat tipped forward again, covering her eyes. She giggled so hard she nearly toppled. Not deterred, she ripped the hat off, plopped on a glittery tiara instead, and balanced it precariously over her bow. She gave another spin, feather boa whirling out like a comet tail, and finished with a curtsy so dramatic it looked rehearsed. Then she clutched a plastic trident from the clearance bin, planted it in the floor like a royal scepter, and announced in her smallest but fiercest voice, "Queen of Halloween." I couldn't help it. My smile came quick and certain, softening everything inside me. It was so Clara, fearless, funny, completely present. Watching her bow to her invisible audience felt like watching sunlight slip into a room, chasing the shadows out without even trying. I tore my eyes away from Clara just in time to nearly plow straight into someone rounding the corner. We both jolted back, a clumsy shuffle of feet and muttered apologies. Sorry. He steadied himself first, broad shoulders catching the fluorescent light. Lucas. My throat locked. Up close, he looked sharper than from across a yard, the kind of presence that made the noise of the store blur out for half a beat. His brow furrowed, studying me like he was flipping through the edges of a half-remembered book. I managed, palms prickling. "I'm your neighbor, across the street." His face shifted, recognition slotting into place. A slow smile curved there, warm enough to cut through the buzzing lights overhead. "Right. Kara, isn't it?" The name landed like a stone dropped into still water, rippling out too far, too fast. Not Becca's teasing, not Haylie's jokes, just him, saying it as if it had always been true. My heart kicked against my ribs so hard it felt reckless. Before I could answer, before I could breathe, Clara's voice pierced the aisle. Daddy, look! She waved a plastic wand overhead, sparkling ribbon tails flying as she hopped in place. Lucas glanced over, then back at me, already half turned away. Good to meet you, he said simply, quick and sure, and then he was gone, striding toward Clara before the moment could stretch any further. I stayed where I was, rooted to the cheap linoleum, rattled and, God help me, quietly thrilled. The name still echoed in my head, brighter and sharper now, too fragile to share, too precious to let go. I stayed there for a long moment after Lucas disappeared, staring down the aisle like maybe the air itself would replay it if I stood still enough. Kara, the way he'd said it. Steady, easy, unthinking, not a dare, not a tease, just me. The echo curled through my chest, making everything else in the store sound muffled and far away. Okay, tell me this isn't perfect. Becca's voice cut through, bright and triumphant. She and Haylie rounded the corner like a parade, arms stacked high with mismatched costume loot, plastic vines trailing, 2 capes draped like battle flags, a glitter wig perched on top like frosting. Haylie flopped the pile onto a display table. Real Ivy would have been so much more authentic, but also bugs and mess. So, no. Becca swung her red cape in a dramatic circle, letting it flare. This is it. Short, sharp, makes the whole thing pop. Everyone else will be staring at Kara's chest, so someone has to balance the visuals. I rolled my eyes but smirked. Wow, thanks. Nothing like being reduced to set decoration. Not reduced, Haylie corrected instantly, waggling her eyebrows. Upgraded. You're the centerpiece. Guess I'll just have to perfect my butt strut, Haylie added, swishing an imaginary vine behind her. I snorted and tossed in, pretty sure you've been practicing that since middle school. She gasped in mock offense and clutched the wig to her chest. Rude. Becca laughed, shaking her head. See, team dynamic already flawless. The trio's going to own the room. I laughed with them this time, genuinely, even as my mind kept pulling back to the moment in the aisle, Lucas's mouth shaping the syllables. How natural it had sounded, like it had never belonged to anyone else but me. Boots next, Becca said decisively, folding the cape over her arm. And a proper crown for Ivy. The cheap foam ones don't cut it. Which means waiting for shipping, Haylie groaned. Becca smirked. It'll land in time, trust me. I nodded along, but under it all, the only thing I could really hear was Lucas's voice, steady and sure. Kara. That night, my room looked like October had exploded. Shopping bags of decorations piled by the dresser, paper bats, fake cobwebs, strings of orange lights tangled together. Becca and Haylie had gone overboard, insisting my place had to be the launch point for Halloween night, and I'd let them. On top of one bag sat a floppy witch hat I hadn't meant to buy, but the second I saw it, I'd remembered Clara twirling in the aisle, the brim slipping over her eyes as she giggled and made her little ta-da pose. Now it was mine. I told myself I'd wear it handing out candy before the party, just for fun. I sank onto the edge of the bed, brushing my fingers over the smooth fabric of the jeans from last weekend, the folded tops stacked neatly nearby. Beneath them, lingerie I'd barely admitted to buying, pieces that made my body feel wholly, undeniably mine. And layered over that memory came today, Becca's triumphant cape flourish, Haylie's merciless jokes, the goofy chaos of the store, and Lucas. His voice was still there, clear and steady, as if the noise around us had dropped away. Kara. I whispered his name back into the quiet, then my own. Kara. Both sounded real. Both felt real. The rest would fall into place. Becca's boots, Haylie's crown, all the last-minute details. But in the mirror, I didn't see the boy I used to be. Only Kara, smiling faintly, steady in her reflection. Halloween wasn't a deadline anymore. It was a stage, waiting for me to step onto it.
Did that leave you wanting more? The naughty version's waiting for you on my Patreon, along with so many other juicy little secrets. Go on, baby. You know where to find me.